leading this mission now. You might want to introduce yourself. Ready when you are.
Akara blesses us with another lost soul. Welcome, stranger. I am Alder Malloy, and you've arrived at Cape Solace just in time. Tell me, how have you come to find yourself upon our shore? Akara is the reason I am here. The reason all of us on this island are here. And maybe, my friend, it's why you are here as well. Akara is this island and everything upon it. It is a village established by those of us whose fates have brought us to Gallows End. Sailors and settlers, foreigners and families, but castaways all. We have made a life here on these beaches and in this village. Ah, so you're here for the oppressor, he who was cast down. You're not the first to arrive on these shores in search of him. You will not be the last. But Akara's magic protects us here in Cape Solace. We are safe from Dead Kell's deathless touch. The same cannot be said for those who venture past the boundaries of the village, near the keep and the surrounding forest. Why, it is the great fortress that looms in the north. Grave Hall, as it was named by the Diverga craftsmen who raised its mighty walls. But the Diverga have long since abandoned the island, leaving their great keep empty. Some in the village, like Paddy, are intrigued by the keep's dark courts and corridors. But I would avoid it. Grave Hall is haunted. The villain Dead Kell rules much of this island. Strives tirelessly to control every last inch. Akara will not let this happen. We are protected in this spot alone, just south of the river and along the coast. The Fallen One has no power here, and it enrages him. Dead Kell was the favourite son of Akara. He was given great gifts from our protector, only to squander them in the pursuit of power. We are blessed not to fear him. So many others live at his mercy, but not those of us here on the safety of the beaches. Akara protects the faithful. Then you will fit in well, for keeping the village strong is truly a group undertaking. We get by with Akara's blessing and providence, of course. You may stay with us for as long as you wish, but might I suggest that you find a way to make yourself useful? We all must do our part. Magical deviants like their master, the Hanged Men, terrorize any who brave the wilderness. Bloodgrin stalks the docks of Kell's harbour to the west, while the Baronet rules the mountains in the north, haunting its peaks and twisted islands. Worst of them all is the Whispering Witch. We never know where she will strike next. He's a funny one, plagued by delusions and inspiration. I've known Akara to touch people, but Paddy acts more touched in the head than blessed. Ever since he arrived, Paddy has had a covetous eye on Grave Hall Keep. I don't know what it is about that old ruin that so bewitches him. All who find themselves on these white sand beaches have been drawn by Akara. Here you will discover many mysteries, but none more important than what to do with this opportunity. Who will you be when you leave Gallows End? The same person who came? Or someone else entirely? He is this island and everything on it. His power and wisdom give us direction, help us to chart a course through the thundering storm of this mortal life. Akara has been a part of Gallows End since before the first castaway dragged his boat ashore and kissed the damp sand beneath his feet. We here in Cape Solace worship Akara because it is he who provides safety, sustenance, and sense of purpose. I prefer the rolling tides of the Frostbreak to any grassy plain or hillside. I have lived a life adrift, seeing the world and meeting interesting people. I once captained my own craft. I was a thief and a smuggler. But all that changed when I found myself here, upon this mysterious shore. Akara blessed me with a second chance. That is what he does. He shows you what is possible. He shows you the fates of which you've never fathomed. I met Bridget, another castaway, and later we had our beloved Nina. All the happiness I'd ignored in my early life were suddenly mine. He and his hanged men are not welcome near our village. Akara has made it so. The fallen sun stalks the forest and coasts of Gallows End, but he is a prisoner here as much as anyone. One day, Akara will rid us of him once and for all. She means well, but like all children, she craves freedom and independence. She will learn to respect boundaries. This is an island, after all.
I don't know about you, but all of this talk about Akara is unsettling. I'm going to ask around about ways to get off the island, since I'm almost certain we're not going to want to stay. We'll have to secure another vessel, but from the looks of the village, they don't often venture past the reef. In the meantime, I'll ask you to scour the beaches for survivors of our wreck. I fear that we may be all that's left of the calamity. Such a possibility has left me agitated. I try not to worry. Anxiety doesn't agree with me. I throw up. I did not see my bosun Thora among the dead, or his wife Asa. There's a chance they have evaded death's grip and still count among the living. Mark my words, if even one of them survives, I will fight to the earth's edge to find them. That's the spirit. I knew taking you on board was the right idea. That fortune teller didn't know what she was talking about. I will stay here and speak to Alder about a boat, and I'll have them send men to fetch Tari from the sandbar. I'll have dead Kel's head if it's the last thing I do. What was left of the ship drifted towards a cove past the eastern cliffs. I'd search there first, and I'd hurry. Lyria, watch over you.
Please, you must forgive me. I am weak. Ill, perhaps. I am not up for conversation. I cannot imagine a better place to grow and flourish. She has made this island her own, our Nina, and when Alder and I are gone, she will lead these people. The world is full of chaos, of tragedy and change. Akara is the certainty, the island in a sea of sorrow. I had no faith when I arrived here. A girl with no future, no hope. Now I know what I must do. Akara has blessed me with purpose. He was little more than a scalawag when I met him. A bandit without a band. All he needed was a bit of direction. That was me. If I had a childhood, I do not recall it. My only memories are of the cruelty that the slavers inflicted on my parents, and of the day they marooned me here to save food. My early years were spent scrounging to survive among the rocks. That was until Alder crashed here, and we began to work together, to find hope in the wreckage. That is when Akara spoke to us, and when we knew a village must rise. Farewell.
Yeah, what? Well. Another soaked and straggly survivor looking for a little comfort. Look elsewhere, friend. He's a tyrant, nothing more. We're captives here so long as Akara guides us. All my life I've heard of his benevolence, his protection. But what's he protecting me from? I'll tell you. Freedom. A whole world awaits us beyond these shores. A world I'll never discover. He keeps the village together, but sometimes that's not enough in a leader. I won't say more. I don't know you. He never quite fit in with the rest of us in the village. Didn't do his part, carry his load. Apparently he's got other plans. I don't know why my father put up with him. You'll get used to it. We don't have much, but we get by. If you're not one for cooperation, then you'd best find a camp of your own. I keep the village of Cape Solace in wild game, for when the sea is stingy with its yield. I also scour the forests and cliffs for plants, for our village alchemists. However, most people on Gallows End only know me as Alder's daughter. Till I escape this place, I'll never be anything more than that. Many years ago, this island belonged to the Dread Pirate. It was his lair, a place where the justice of the Alfar held no sway. But time passed, as it always does. His influence here has waned. I wouldn't let it keep you from slumber. I was born and raised on this island. I know many of its secrets, at least those it's willing to share with me. And while I feel at home on Gallows End, I want nothing more than to leave it. Between a Kara, dead Kell, and my father, there's no room left for the rest of us. See ya.
Hello. If you go north, you will see Grave Hall, an ancient development. But I wouldn't go there. Hello there, Castaway. I've heard about you. You're the one what brought the captain. She's a quirky sort, not that I'm judging. Anything I can do to make you more comfortable? Oh, I could tell you a thing or two about Padrig Dower, but I won't. Too much of a lady I am. Paddy wishes only to serve in the highest company. The rest of us are scuttle in his eyes. He and his friends can keep their own counsel, if you ask me. Haunted, cursed, damned. All of them apply to Grave Hall. No one has set foot beyond those walls in years. It's a place left to the ages. Don't let Padrig and his friends convince you otherwise. Getting marooned here was a blessing. People are always happy to see my face. That's because I'm the one who gets things. Besides, people only wish to return to the mainland if they have something to return to. I don't have this problem. My husband was killed in the wreck of the Blue Sabre, along with our children. Fauna, Peter, and little Gwen. It was not easy, especially during the first years. But with Akara's grace, I moved past the grief and flourished. I have seen him just the once. He was poking his skull-white face out from one of the Western fastings. Scary? Bah, not in the slightest. Only cowards lurk about in the mud and take what doesn't belong to them. You're scarier than he is. Without his gift of endless comfort, I never could have faced the days alone. Everything I am now is because of him. Always a pleasure.
I'm so tired of fish. If only we could pass the river safely. Keep on the hill.
Have you been to the wreck? What did you find? Keep your boots dry.
The hanged men reside somewhere on this island. That's no legend. That's the truth.
You must excuse me. I am not feeling myself. We are safe here, guarded against the will of dark beasts and wicked men. Nowhere else on this island may we walk free. The village is a gift to us from Akara. He has promised us protection, and he has made good on that contract. Farewell.
Look what the reef brought ashore this time. I am Padrig Dower. My friends call me Paddy, but I have few of those here in the village. I assume dear Alder's given you the welcome speech? Poor, foolish man. It's getting crowded down here, you know. Pity we can't move, some of us at least, up to the keep on the hill. Raised by humans, trained by the master, and nothing but a sour malcontent if most of Cape Solace is to be believed. You'd be wise to steer clear of me. Praise Akara now and then and start making your new life here. None of us are here by choice, so I try not to judge too harshly. But, if I may be crass, they're a bunch of damn sheep, these people. Not all of them, of course. Keen, Lan, they're good folks. Myfa too. The rest I wouldn't miss. Alder's a fine fellow. Just ask him. He'll tell you himself. You may have gathered, he and I don't see eye to eye on some things. Alder's a fine fellow. Just ask him. He'll tell you himself. I don't believe in him. What kind of god only protects you if you stay within these random borders and every few years sacrifice him? It's safe, that's for certain. And try as I might, I can't deny that's probably thanks to this Akara. Real or not, that doesn't mean I have to worship him like the others. I don't fall to my knees out of pure boredom like some people. Alder's god. I don't know if he's real or not, but I know I don't believe in him. Thing of beauty, isn't it? Nothing like the great city of Edessa, of course, but just as breathtaking. Please excuse my enthusiasm. I was an architect back in the world. If you want a nicer place to live, and you aren't afraid of spirits, I can help you get that keep. Interested? It's not haunted. Cursed, maybe, but not haunted. Gates locked and it's crawling with those damn scavs. And something else inside that's loud as hell. Every so often, someone gets an idea to sneak in. Most don't get as far as the door, and those who do never come back. I've gotten as far as the top of the wall to have a peek inside. It wasn't easy, but I had a good enough look to know I'd better climb right back down and think of something else. Everything else, I know from the dream. Last night, I dreamt of the keep as it once was, several stories tall and so beautiful it made me cry. When I awoke, I was clutching this key in my hand. I don't put much stock in Akara, but I do know a sign when I see one. There was more, but I can't recall it clearly. Perhaps it'll come back to me when we get inside. Will you come? Yes, I'm going with you. I'm not much good in a fight, but I can remember enough of what I saw in the dream to know where to go. So, you want to help me or not? Fantastic! Let me know when you're ready to go, and we'll be off. Come on, then. I'll lead the way, but stay close. Alder's god doesn't protect us outside Cape Solace. Bye.
pleasure to meet you. I'm Cillian, the Beastmaster. Thinks highly of himself, but there's no one better to have on your side. Cape Solace is nice, if you're into religious zealotry. Me, I prefer hanging out with animals to people anyways. I was trained to fight and bend the beast to mankind's service. Not skills in great demand here. We've never needed to fight, thanks to Akara's protection, and Alder refuses to allow beasts in the village. Take care.
Lo, we sing of good kings shipborne and stout, from fasting waked and white-winged whisper. He was Ulfston chief, father of foundlings, boasted and beloved. With bitter mandate they laid him upon a serpent steed. Kin kissed the brow and wept, tears into the flames, until mournful billow and scarlet banner bore him north. Treasures heavy upon his heart. The great blaze bloomed, jewel-bright and wild, a dark night lit by kingly fire.
Nesta doesn't think we can deal with the infestation on Storm Point, but I've told her I'd take care of it. Why haven't I? Well, it's complicated. The Diverger built quite a fortress for themselves. It's a shame they couldn't overcome their fears and stay. What a waste. We are able to get by on fish from the Frostbreak and the plants we grow on the bluffs. There is no reason to venture beyond the village. Beyond the forests is the realm of beasts and pirates. We are safe so long as we stay near Cape Solace together. They are dwarf mariners, small but sturdy sea folk who rule the kingdoms and islands north of Erethel. Don't be fooled by their size. They are fierce. I've only seen the pirate once. I was hiking the cliffs alone to pull in the morning's catch. The black ship Requiem was sailing out toward the sunrise, its rigging decorated with stark black gulls and corpses. We are truly blessed that he cannot come near the village. Akara be praised. I do not mind the villagers. Not as much as my wife does, that is. They are a devout group, sheltered by their island god, Akara. Everyone here is needy. I don't see any reason why we can't look to the powerful for protection. Gallows End is like every other challenge I faced in my life. Every day is a struggle to survive. My mother died when I was young, and my father was a thief. I was half-starved when Lord Pennion caught me snatching gold from his pocket. Instead of tossing me into Rathir prison, he gave me a chance to work off my punishment. I became a servant in his great house. And that's where I first met Nesta. We had not spoken a word to each other before the crash. Now, We are husband and wife. All my life I was a follower of Lyria. And how did she help me? I was poor. I was hungry. I was miserable. Here on Gallows End I can see the effects of Akara's power. He provides. That's more than I can say for my father's gods. Bye.
You must be one of the new arrivals. Tell me, did Cape Solace drive you out as well? I am Nesta Gwynedd. My husband Cadwallon and I have only been here a short time, but we've managed to eke out a tolerable existence on our own. Or we did, before the scav infestation. I know them from the songs of my father's crew. Low-born men and drunkards, mostly. According to legend, the Hanged Men are said to be the fiercest pirates in all of Amalur. How such criminals manage to ever work together is beyond me. I was born an heir to the great House Penion, reigning high on the spire in Rathir. My life was one of study, tradition, and endless possibility. That all changed the day my father's ship was caught in a hurricane off the coast of Erethel. I awoke a week later, here on Gallows End, in the gentle, healing arms of my Cadwallon. It was like I was reborn. Wouldn't I love to move our camp up behind those tall, strong walls? But that's not possible. Gravehall is cursed. Nothing good has ever come to those who enter its vast shadow. In fact, none of them have ever returned. Life on the island would be unbearable if not for Cadwallon. So many in the village have been torn from their loved ones. Not I. It is the wreck that brought my love to me. We don't need to fear the Pirate King. His realm is to the west, deep in the caverns of the coast. They say he's been killed before, but that the flames of the afterlife buoyed his rise back to Earth. It's enough to give one shivers. I have encountered many fanatics in my time, and none are so zealous as Alder Malloy. In the few months that we've been here, he's tried to convert me twice. Never trust a man who lets his faith speak for him. Alder and his people preach community and hope, yet they cast out any who do not view their beloved Akara as the sun and the moon. I have my own gods, thank you. You can find them all over the Frostbreak Sea, from west of here to the Near East and the Obsidian Isle. The Diverg and superstitious lot. They claim the oceans as their own, and frown on anyone who wishes to challenge that authority. Several months ago, my husband and I started a garden on Storm Point. It has saved our lives. Thanks to this secret spot, we've been able to fill the village stores to brimming. Now, however, scavs seem to have taken a keen interest in Storm Point as well. They wish not to fill their stores, but their bellies instead. Scavs are not native to the Frostbreak Sea. They come from the south, infesting ships and living off the cargo, and often the crew. They've made quite a home here on Gallows End, nesting in large broods, deep and damp old fastings left behind by the Diverger. If your goal is to ingratiate yourself to the inhabitants of this island, you've chosen the right path. You have my thanks, and the thanks of those who wish to eat. Come, we will take you to Storm Point. It's not far, just past the boundaries of Cape Solace and Gravehall Keep. Storm Point is the best place on Gallows End to grow food. If you don't believe me, check the village stores. It's just up ahead a bit. Follow me.
So, I'm not the only one who walked out of that mess. I figured you for a sturdy one, but surviving that wreck, that's fate. We shouldn't waste a moment. My wife, my Asa, she still lives, but they took her. I've never seen anything like it. Scavengers. They look like fair Gorta, but not like any I've ever seen. No, it was just us. Asmir, Kelly, Free, Edric, Udin. They're all gone. All dead. They were good people. Proud. Not the bedraggled bunch many mistook them for. It's a shame. Thank you. I won't forget this, truly. I will make way inland. If there are others on this island, I will find them and I will send them. My heart goes with you. Get her back! I'm no good to you. I sought a keep overlooking the beach. Perhaps it's inhabited. I'm not a sailor by nature. Hate the water, the pitch of the waves. It's Asa who first got me on a boat. Love, it does strange things. Frankly, I can't believe we're actually standing here on Gallows End. You don't know how many sea stories are set on this mysterious isle. If I weren't still recovering from the wreck, I'd be armed and marching off to take that bastard's head. Dead Kell. His name is a prophecy waiting to come true. She was taken into that waterlogged tunnel beneath the cliffs. That's where the beasts first appeared. There's not much time. Oh.
any farther. The scabs. Those scabs have overrun the most fertile ground on the whole island. We could certainly use some assistance with those scabs. We can handle one or two at a time, but not a brood such as that. Those scabs have overrun the most fertile... I hate scabs. Thank you. Our stores were running low, and it's not as easy as you'd think to gather food in these treacherous lands. There are in the village that could use your help. In fact, I was planning to ask someone to venture down to Scuttle Beach. I saw a ship before the scabs moved in. I'm convinced it ran aground on the rocks below, but I can't be sure. Someone should check for survivors. Farewell.
My hero. Nestor claimed she saw a galley strike the rocks beyond the eastern beach, but I saw nothing. I tend to leave well enough alone. Take care.
Lo, we sing of Solsvard, heir of the Ulfston Shieldbreaker, sure of hand and pure of heart, with fame on white wings, who claimed the isle for kin and raised his great dwarf fastings, undersea, mudhole, cliffbreak, and soul deep. Treasures for and strongholds hearty, prizes for his betrothed. For by his side strode Lady Anrun, his comely warrior bride, whose wish was for a wedding feast, and all kin surrounded to bestow the greatest gift of all, a mighty keep of Gravehold. So rose the revel, and so fell the chain armor, the helms of iron, as bards sang thick and bedding beckoned. Up from the depths of blue deep winding, the terror drog came clawing at their slumbering halls, where warriors waged wars with wine dreams and fancy, alone in the fearful fasting. The first one she seized up, alive with wicked pleasure, bones crushed and bodies beaten, as she painted the walls with gore, a screaming reverie.
Akara's will shall be done. Move along. Do not interfere in the Scion's preparations.
What do you wish from the Scion, Frail One? Don't you know that I am to be replaced? Akara prepares the successor. The Benevolent One is more powerful than any of us can truly grasp. His magic reaches back through the ages of Amalur, nearly to the beginning. His only wish is to protect those who seek solace in this life, to withdraw from the clamor and death of the outside world. He is peace. The villagers are Akara's flock. They translate his wisdom into practice, making our world a better one. I was once called Pima. Like many on this island, I was a castaway, left for dead on the beaches of Gallows End. I underwent the offering ceremony when I was a younger woman, back when I didn't know what the future held. I have been the Scion ever since. This is where Akara chose to create his perfect world, where he could watch over mortals and aid them in their quest for contentment. The Watchers have been on this island for as long as anyone can remember. They protect the Scion, and they defend Akara's interest wherever they may be. Praise Akara.
Kara's goodwill. You are not to distract the Scion from her duty. The villagers look to the Scion.
Yes?
Stand clear. Our business does not concern you, Longlegs. Pepin will be back momentarily with the tome, and then we will be on our way. Until then, do not interfere. Tracking the tome to this location was a monumental effort on the part of our scholars and mariners. Piracy is a dirty business, and I prefer to retrieve what we came for and depart. I find this sort of setting to be rather agitating. So sinister. I am aware of him. The comings and goings of barbarous rabble is not my province. The fact that I am here on this rock at all is proof that I've somehow offended my superiors. It is torture. I am Templar Tensez, here on behalf of the Basilica Nostra. The work of scholars is not usually my concern, but the Tome of Contrition is a particularly sensitive item, and its fate is of an importance far beyond academics. They'd sooner burn a book for warmth than learn how to build their own fire. The sea dwarfs have no respect for what we hold dear. They aren't fit to walk the earth. That is why they're exiled to the oceans. It is called the Tome of Contrition, and it is a record of gnomish experience throughout the ages. But that is all I can say. To reveal more could be detrimental to our expedition. Now, if only Pepin would return from undersea fasting. A dread cloud hangs above this island. I can feel it. The Tome of Contrition was stolen by the Diverga in one of their barbaric raids. During the Edessa migration, we gnomes transported many artifacts from across the seas to the Great Library. The temptation was too much for such savages. But of all the relics lost to us, the Tome of Contrition is the most important. It is not my place to explain, and not yours to know. I will put it this way. The loss of such a book could do irreparable harm. I'm not sure. Obviously, I cannot pursue him. It is my duty to stay here, to see to our higher purpose. But something must be done. Pepin's tardiness is a concern. Fine. Yes, it is decided. You may find Pepin, and you will be rewarded for doing so. But I accept no responsibility for your safety. None whatsoever. It is the closest the Diverga on this island had to a vault. Their most valuable plunder is stored deep in its dark and dripping corridors. The tome was taken from one of our relic galleys during the migration to fill the great library of Edessa. As it always is with the Diverga, they had no idea of the worth of what they'd taken. He means well, but neither his intellect nor his discipline are up to the caliber of even our weakest scholars. Pepin is perfect for tasks like this one, of the run and fetch variety. It is inland, beyond the cliffs. We have made our camp here so as not to arouse suspicion in the villagers to the east. Castaways are an excitable breed. Goodbye.
Carloman and I are eager to leave this place. It is far more peculiar than we anticipated. The research does not do its perversion justice. Yes, I have caught whispers of this man and his history. Why is it that other races are so transfixed by the exploits of cutthroats and cretins? You'd assume they have nothing more worthwhile to aspire to. My brother Carloman and I were recruited to assist Templar Tenses in this expedition. No doubt because of our superior insight. We were also available. You may call me Scholar Manoise, the Elder Manoise, as in Louis Manoise, author of the treatise on the origins of the Fey kind. Surely you've heard of it? It is quite well known. In certain circles. You will not pry any secrets from this scholar. The contents of the tome are known only to a chosen few. One day, I hope to be one of them. Pepin? He's no scholar. The Basilica Nostra never would have chosen him for this expedition if it weren't for his uncle, Templar Vinther. If I have to read another one of his ridiculous theories on the vivification of the dead, I will throw myself into the sea. Goodbye.
Aye, stranger. I keep waiting for the Templar Tenses to tell us we're leaving Gallows End. Nothing yet. I am Scholar Manoise of the Basilica Nostra. My brother Louis and I were nominated for this expedition because of our exemplary work on the Frostbreak Sea chronology. Perhaps you have heard of it. Probably not. Dead kill. Sounds sinister. Should I be concerned? This is all very exciting. I've never met a pirate before. Are you a pirate? Don't make me waste my breath. Did he lobby tirelessly to be considered for his position in the Basilica Nostra? No. Did he burn the library candles to Nubs writing his papers? No. Scholar Germain, and it pains me to call him that, is better off lost in the mud of a Dverga tunnel. We are all spared his ignorance. I studied the region ahead of time, assembled a collection of the library's best references. I must admit that the island is much different than I expected. I preferred the books. Aye. I have no interest. If you hadn't noticed, aye.
Greetings.